संतापनाशम् प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूताधिवासम् जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजा नतोऽहं सदा सर्वदा जन्म दुःखो गतातव्यमानम् प्रभो पाहि आपन्नमामेश शम्भो।
Good morning, all of you. Welcome to the fourth class of capital gain. Just a minute and we'll begin. Okay, so we are here together again to continue with the capital gain detailed learning classes for financial year 24-25 because there are changes in the tax rates, right? So this was a regular batch to be taken every day, but 2 days there was a gap because January 25 exam is due just after 1 week and they had doubts and I had to solve MTP also for them, right? So if any of your friends are writing in January 25, they can check the whole playlist wherein all the MTP 1 and 2 and for DT, IDT as well as for costing. Everything is solved. Okay, right. Now, in capital gain, we have completed 3 classes and I have divided into parts. Let me revise for all of you. First was definition of capital asset. What is transfer? How do you calculate the format? Second class was special cases we have taken. When the property is compulsory acquired or when the property is converted into stock in trade and then it is sold. When debentures are converted into, these are special cases we have taken. Third class is very, very important. You all should watch it again. Can't say this time's MTP and the past exam question paper for CA CMA. Every time they are asking you stamp duty value. Section 50C. If your actual sale consideration is less and stamp duty value is more, above 110% of the cost, then take stamp duty value as your sale consideration for capital gain. If the stamp duty value is like not accepted and you go to valuation officer, he's staying still higher, then take stamp duty value. So stamp duty value or valuation officer, whichever is lower. Actual sale consideration or stamp duty. Out of these two, you have to take whichever is higher, right? Even though you are taking stamp duty value as the sale consideration, if they give brokerage is 1%, that brokerage has to be 1% on what do you call it as actual sale consideration, right? And then you do for short term asset which is held for up to 12 months in case of shares and all, in others land and building and all up to 2 years, it's short term asset. When it is sold, there is short term capital gain, no indexation. In case of long term, there is indexation. So last class we have seen a very important aspect asked so many times in the exam. Stamp duty value is clear. Check your booster notes if you still have a doubt. This revision is for you all. And once you are thorough with this, then next one is advance money forfeited. I have sold you the property, you gave me the token money. If this advance money is forfeited after 1st April 2014, then whatever advance money is forfeited, it will be straight taxable as my income from other source. I decided to sell the property to you, you gave 1 lakh rupees, then the deal didn't happen. Now I've sold to other person. So the money which is forfeited is straight taxable as income from other sources. If advance money is forfeited before 1st April 2014, then whenever I sell it, after I cancel the deal with you, when I sell it, from the cost, deduct the advance money forfeited and on the net reduced cost only do the indexation. Is this clear to all of you? So like this, advance money forfeited and stamp duty, 5 problems we have practiced. And when I have sold you the property at 60 lakhs and stamp duty value is 80 lakhs, I will to calculate the capital gain at 80 lakhs. But for you, why did you buy 60, 80 lakhs property in 60 lakhs? 20 lakhs will be added in the income of the buyer as income from other sources, gift under section 56. Is this clear to all of you? So this is what is third class. Now very quickly we are beginning. Anyone is having doubt? I'm doing revision for all of you. Yeah. Today's class is very important. Please share it with inter final, all the students. Exemptions, there is no change. So very nicely we will do exemptions. I'll teach you all the exemption. Out of that, 54, 54C and 54F are very important for exam. So we'll learn all the exemptions one by one. Then left to right, I'll make you learn. We'll apply it and solve very limited questions today. Because we are in the learning mode. Once we complete this learning, tomorrow I will take so many good problems for exemptions, including our what do you call that? Revocation. If exemption is revoked, there's a concept, then how do you give the treatment? That is also nowadays asked too much. So today and tomorrow, 2 classes are there for exemption. Ma'am, 5 class mein capital gain khatam. No, we are going to take 1 class exclusively for slum sale and changes in the tax rates of capital gain and slum sale. Last class I will do that. Okay. So this is the schedule some of you wanted to know. Now, first I want you all to go to your notebook and Park, how do you get the ये आता कैसे है capital gain? This was the paper pattern of costing we were discussing yesterday. Yeah. So where does the capital gain come? Let us write it. Yeah, some capital gain exemptions are there from long term, some are there from short term. So suppose I'll take sale consideration 100, index cost of acquisition 75, and my long term capital gain is 25. Done. Now on this 25 lakhs, 25 lakhs, I have to pay tax. Correct? I have to pay the tax on 25 lakhs. But on this 25 lakhs, I have to pay tax. To avoid it, what I can do is I have sold the house with the sale consideration coming 100 lakhs. Can I buy one more house? Like that, different exemptions have different condition. Sell anything and buy bonds. Sell agricultural land and buy agriculture or rural. Like that, I'm going to teach. But what is exemption? So here you will get a deduction, exemption under section 54. Now I want to work out 2 options. Option 1 is, suppose investment in the new house for section 54 is say 40 lakhs. So long term capital gain is 25 lakhs. Long term, I'm teaching something which they can ask in MCQ also from the scratch level. Long term capital gain is 25 lakhs or investment is 40 lakhs, whichever is lower. So here how much you will take the exemption, 25 lakhs or 40 lakhs, whichever is lower. So 25 lakhs. And what will be the taxable long-term capital gain? Nil. Are you with me? In short, exemption cannot exceed the capital gain. You can't say, ma'am, capital gain was 25. I invested 40, so 15 lakhs negative loss to be carried forward, blah, blah. No. Long-term capital gain is 25. Your exemption or investment, whichever is lower. Okay. So take it as 25 lakhs, even though you have invested 40 lakhs. Ma'am, what about remaining 15? It will lapse and this will become nil. Option 2, I'm writing now. Suppose if the investment in new house is just 18 lakhs. Now, 25 lakhs is the capital gain or 18 lakhs, whichever is lower. So 18 lakhs. Then how will you calculate the capital gain? I'm just putting a partition here. Whichever is lower. So now how will I calculate the capital gain? Long-term capital gain is 25. Less section 54 mein you have put 18 lakhs. 7 lakhs is your taxable long-term capital gain. Are you all with me? Because you just invested 18 lakhs, right? I want you to take down this by writing this example. Ma'am, you have already given 1500 pages material जो है इंस्टीट्यूट का उसको 300 पेज में कंपाइल किए हैं, बहुत मेहनत की है. फिर भी there are moments where I'll make you write. It's mandatory to, for one sink in the mind, do this hard work. Write down. Write down, write down. If you have any doubts, ask me. I'm here only. Live chat is also on. Zoom में जो कर रहे हैं आपको doubt है, unmute and speak up, or you can definitely use the chat box also. पूछो. Excuse me. Long-term capital gain or the investment, whichever is lower. So 25 or 40, whichever is lower. 25 here. 25 or 18, whichever is lower. So 18. Like that you have to do. This is the funda of the capital gain. And exemption can be like anything. Some are in long term. Abhi I'll make you learn. Finish writing? Chalo, next now. Let us open the material and read everything from that vertically. Chalo. Who can claim section 54's exemption? Vertically means one by one all exemption I will teach, and then we will combine and take questions. Individuals and HUF. Which capital asset? Long term. Just remember, keep house to we always buy for long term. No, we never buy house to sell it, right? Which asset is eligible? What should you sell? Residential house property. Residential house property. Which asset you should buy? Residential house property. I can sell the house nearby to OU where I'm staying, and you can buy the house in Kukatpalli, Banjara Hills. Yeah. I can sell the house in Hyderabad and buy another house in Mangalore city, right? So sell the house, buy the house. Time limit. Yeah, you have transferred the house. So you can purchase the house 1 year backward. You know, I was getting choice of my property. So I purchased it with loan. And within 1 year, my old house I sold when I got good rate. So it's not necessary that you have sold after that only you have to buy. You can buy 1 year backward. What is this? Date of transfer. 1 year backward or 2 years forward. And if you're constructing, then 3 years forward, right? From which date? From the date of the transfer. But if it is compulsory acquired, you know, when the assets, houses and all are compulsory acquired, government is paying you the money after 2-3 years, say. So the year when I receive the money, now I can invest and buy another house, no? So in case of compulsory acquisition, the date of receipt of compensation. I want to repeat, from the date of transfer, 1 year backward, 2 years forward, or 3 years forward, right? From the date of the receipt of the compensation, right? Okay. How much is exempt? Investment in new house or capital gain, I just now made it clear. Is it possible to revoke it? Revoke means you have sold a house, you have purchased a house, Now, immediately if you sell, then what's the benefit of giving you exemption? When you have sold the house, you have purchased the house, you should not sell it for 3 years. If the new asset is transferred within 3 years, the exemption is revoked. Khatam. When the exemption is revoked, it will be again become taxable. Revocation, how you will apply and solve the question with 10 rupees, 2 rupees, small example, I'll make it clear tomorrow. Yeah, but whenever it is revoked, it will be taxable as short-term capital gain, and CGS is applicable. Yes. Now, what is CGAS? Understand this logic. Dear students, I have sold the house. I want to claim exemption by buying another house. So I have time, 1 year forward, 2 years forward, I can buy the house. 3 years forward, I can construct the house. So it will take time for me to buy my choice of house or construct my choice of house, right? Till then, if I want to claim the exemption, then whatever sale consideration I have got, can I put it, can I put this sale consideration in the capital gain account scheme? What is this CGAS, capital gain account scheme? It's a very nice scheme wherein government is saying you have sold the house of 100 lakhs and you have got the capital gain 25 lakhs, same exemption. So 100 lakhs you want to invest in the new house? Yes. Either invest it before due date of filing the return for 24-25. If not, put it in a separate bank account which is called a CGA scheme. And in the coming 2 years, use the money which is there in that separate bank account only for the purchase of house, or use the money in the 3 years in the for the construction of the property. Got it? See, you can't say I have sold the house, I have got the capital gain, please give me 54 exemption. Sure, promise 40 lakhs ka ghar I will buy next year. I will construct the house after 1.5 years. Who will trust? So the money which you have blocked, you got the sale money which you have blocked to avail capital gain exemption and to invest in the house, put it in a separate bank account under CGA scheme, then you will get the exemption. Okay. I'll do all the exemptions one by one, then left to right, I'll make you learn. But 54 is very important. So I would prefer only for 54, we will write the booster notes and we will also solve one question. Abhi ke abhi, to clear ho jayega. Questions are very clear till capital gain. After capital gain comes entry of exemption. तो ये देखो फिर से पढ़ो. What is CGA scheme? We will study. Under section 54, 54B, D, F, G, the capital gain is exempt if such is invested in the new asset. Okay. If reinvestment is not made before due date of filing the return, 31st March 25 close होने के बाद July 25 तक you could not do it, then the amount of capital gain is to be deposited in capital gain account scheme. Deposit should be made before due date of filing the return. Deposit should be made with a bank or institute and all approved for this. Return should be filed. Amount deposited can be withdrawn only for the purchase or construction. If the amount deposited is not utilized for acquiring the new asset with the period stipulated, the capital gain related to the unutilized amount shall be treated as capital gain. You know, you promised you will buy the house in 2 years. You kept the money in CGS and it's lying there only. You didn't use it only. So after the time limit, it will become taxable. Unutilized amount shall be treated as capital gain in the year when the period of 2 years or 3 years expires, and it will become taxable. Because when you kept amount, no, we gave you the benefit, right? For investment in 54 EC, time limit is 6 months. 54 EC jab aayega. And for deposit in CGS, time limit is due date of filing the return. For this year, it's July 25 or October 25. Such investment should be made before due date of filing the return. Nice. Followed all of you? Yeah. So what you have to do, sell the house, buy the house. Okay, once again we will read. Who can avail this? Individuals and HUF. Long-term capital gain. When you have sold the property after acquiring and using it for 2 years, you have sold the property. So long-term capital gain on sale of residential house. Yeah. What you need to buy? Residential house. Time limit, purchase 1 year backward, 2 years forward, construction 3 years forward. I'll make you write. This is understanding, then booster note, then solving the question answer, and eight, one or two, if you do in detail, everything else will be super clear. Huh? From transfer of house property, which date, time limit, in case of compulsory acquisition from the date you receive. Investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. If the new house is transferred within 3 years. Exemption is revoked. And whenever it is revoked, it will be taxable as short-term capital gain. And is CGA scheme applicable? Answer is yes. Clear? Very clear. Yes. Some more details are there. Please ask. पूछो. Unmute करके पूछो ना. मैम क्या doubt है आप पूछो. No problem. Time limit. Still you are confused? I'll explain in the notes. Okay. Now there is some more thing added over here. If the capital gain which you get by selling the house is above 2 crore, one residential house can be purchased. 1 year backward, 2 years forward and all. If the capital gain is less than 2 crore, then two residential house can be purchased. You know, it's how suppose we have sold a big house and now my two sons are separating, so I'm buying two small flats. So can I claim exemption for both? Yes, if the capital gain is less than up to 2 crore. If it is more than 2 crore, then one residential house. Less than 2 crore, then two you can buy. Purchase or constructing two residential house, the benefit is available once in a lifetime. ये जो टू रेसिडेंशियल हाउस का बेनिफिट है एक ही बार मिलेगा. In case of capital gain, section 54 or 54F can be availed if new construction is purchased. However, upper limit for deduction is up to 10 crore. Very nice. I want all of you to write an example here only. Capital gain is 18 crore. New house. I'll give you all the notes. Don't worry. पहले आप यहाँ भी लिख लो. New house purchase 15 crore. Ma'am, just now you said long-term capital gain or the investment in the new house, whichever is lower. So can I avail 15 crore deduction here? Answer is no. Section 54 and 54F where you buy the house. 54F तो मैंने पढ़ाया नहीं है, but अभी 54. The exemption cannot exceed more than 10 crore. That's the upper limit. And this is if your capital gain is less than 2 crore, two residential house you can buy. More than 2 crore, only one residential house you can buy. Clear to all of you? I'll make you write everything and we will solve one problem also for the section 54. Aja. Booster notes. All the booster notes we are writing with the red color. So we will write exemption under section 54. To whom it is available, I want you to write. You can keep your notes open. Once you write, you will learn it forever. Ink it to sink it. That's what it goes. individuals and HUF. Who can avail? Individual and HUF. What they have sold? Sold residential house property. They have sold residential house property, that too long term capital gain. उसी में मिलेगा long term capital gain. You can write long term capital gain on sale of residential house. What you have to buy? Buy residential house. Sell the house, buy the house. Fourth one is time limit. Time limit के लिए ना, just make this diagram. Date of transfer. Just write down. Say date of transfer is 31st December 24. Our financial year is 24-25. So 31st December 24, you have transferred the house. So you can purchase another house two years forward. So up to 31st December 26, you can buy another house. Construct 3 years forward. So till 31st December 27, you can construct the house. Are you all with me? You're doing it for the first time. That's why I have explained. Now I'm making you write and we will solve the question also. From the date of transfer, within 2 years, you have to buy the house. 3 years, you can do immediately, or purchase 1 year backward. I told you now, it may so happen that you were lucky. December 23 के बाद, January 24, New Year, you purchased a house and then you sold the house. So you can buy 1 year backward. पहले नया घर खरीद लो, फिर पुराना बेचो. Or you can purchase 2 year forward, construct 3 years forward. Clear? Next point. Revocation. Revocation मतलब taxable हो जाएगा if new house sold within 3 years. If new house is sold just within 3 years, then it's revoked. Exemption, whatever exemption was given, now taxable. Revocation I'll teach you in detail tomorrow. आज पहले exemption तो करें. So if the new house is sold within 3 years, it's exempt. Now it will become taxable. Short-term capital gain. Okay? And for our financial year 24-25, due date of return of income, say 31st July 25, और अगर audit होता है तो 31st October 25. Put money in CGAS. So many times they give you that the money is put up in CGS in December 25. What were you doing? Sleeping until now. December 25, if you do, gone. Arey, you had time. December 24, you sold the house. March 25, July 25, October 25, due date of filing the return tak, put the money in CGS, whatever you want to invest. Put money in CGS, then only you will get the exemption. And from CGS, use it. From CGAS, withdraw amount. Use means withdraw amount. For what? You will withdraw the amount for purchase or construction. जैसे भी है, या purchase के लिए या construction के लिए use कर. Right. Upper limit of section 54F में भी you buy the houses up to 10 crore. Even if you buy the house, I want all of you to write in 8th one example. Long-term capital gain 15 crore. New houses purchased 12 crore. Section 54 exemption 10 crore. Ma'am, you just now said capital gain or investment in new house, whichever is lower. So 12 crore is lower. True. But it cannot exceed more than 10 crore. Write the exam. What will be taxable long-term capital gain? 5 crore. Taxable long-term capital gain. Long-term capital gain is 15 crore. Exemption will limit it to 10 crore, not 12 crore. Because this is asked so much, I want all of you to circle and write, dear students. This is very important for MCQ. Upper limit of selling the house and buying the house is 10 crore in a year. Now, next point also very important for MCQ. If long-term capital gain, individual and HUF selling the house, buying the house, if long-term capital gain is less than or up to 2 crore. These are just pointers which I'm making you write. Then I'll teach all the exemptions and we'll see left to right also. So if the long-term capital gain is less than or up to 2 crore, then 1 or 2 residential house can be purchased. If long-term capital gain is less than up to 2 crores, then sell the house and you can buy 1 or 2 residential house. This is one concept. Or if long-term capital gain on selling the house is more than 2 crore, then buy only one house. Sell one house, buy one house. See, these 2 points are very, very important for MCQ. Write it and ask what is your doubt. Sell the house, buy the house. Simple problem we will take up. Revocation is so much as that's what I'm seeing. Everyone is clear what we are doing. Individual and HUF who sold a residential house and got long-term capital gain, and if they buy another residential house 1 year backward, 2 years forward, construction 3 years forward, then they can get exemption. Yeah. After this, actually, one more point should have been, I want all of you to write here. Exemption is equal to long-term capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. Long-term capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. Revocation. If the new house is sold within 3 years, then it will become taxable. And for financial year 24-25, due date of filing the return is July 25 October. Till then, put the money in CGAs. Withdraw the money only to buy the house. Upper limit of claiming the exemption is 10 crores. So even though I've sold the house and there's capital gain of 15 crore and I have purchased a new house for 12 crore, maximum deduction will be only 10 crore. Taxable long-term capital. Okay? Now, if I have sold the house and there's long-term capital gain up to 2 crore, you can sell one house and buy one or two houses. But if the capital gain is more than 2 crore, then you can buy only one house. Clear? So with this, very quickly, we will do a very simple problem to get practice. Houses sold and houses purchased, you get exemption. Second house, don't sell it for 3 years. If you sell, gone. It's revoked. So immediately after this, I have given the problems. These are all with revocation. ये तो बहुत अच्छा question है. 28th one. 21 we are doing. Mr. India furnishes you details and requests you to compute the taxable capital gain. He had a residential house inherited from father. Whenever you get the house property by way of will or inheritance, you can take the cost of the previous owner. But father has acquired it in 1999, then can we take the fair market value of 2001? Yes. In year 2015, further construction and improvement was done. On 10/5/2024, the house is sold. On 10/5/2024, the house is sold for 50 lakhs. Expenditure is 50,000. Yeah. And on 2012, see, you have sold the house when date of transfer is 10/5/24. So 10/5/24 to 10/5/26 you can buy the house. इसने तो अभी खरीद लिया. December 24 he purchased the house. Will he get exemption? Yes. Did you read the question with me? Now do it. Solve it. Booster notes पूरे समझ में आए आपने क्या लिखा है? One minute. OneNote is giving some trouble. Yeah, I'm going to solve it in notebook. Right? So we are solving a problem for 54. This is your first problem, dear students. I am telling you. बाद में तो I will ask you that you have sold property and purchased bonds. So which exemption? You have sold property and purchased. So which? Abhi this is a practice question. Problem number 21. Compute the capital gain. We'll do it in notebook. Just 2 minutes to put it in chart. Read the question. So we have to compute the income for Mr. India. Computation of income of Mr. India. There could be other income, but we are purely in the capital gain, right? So previous year we have written and 2 columns. They have sold the property. Sale consideration is 50 lakhs. If they give you stamp duty value and all that, then you have to decide which value, but nothing is given. Then related expenses are 50,000. So now we have net sale consideration 49 lakh 50,000 less index cost of acquisition. So this property was inherited from father. So definitely we'll take the fair market value of 2001 and 2. That is 5 lakh. And now we are transferring in 24 and 25. 2001 and 2 it is 100 and 24, 25 now it is 363. So what was available for 100 has become 363. So 5 lakh ki today's cost. What's the index cost of acquisition of 5 lakh into 363 divided by 100? What's the cost coming? 18 lakh 15,000. 18 lakh 15,000 is the cost of acquisition of this residential house. Next should be cost of improvement, which is not given. Ki hai. In the year 2015, it's there. Index cost of improvement. They did improvement for 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs improvement is done. When? In 15. And now we are selling it in 24, 25. It was 15, so we will always take 15 and 16. And let us check the rates. आप भी करो, मैं भी करती हूँ. I have given you the index rates, no, all in the second page of this chapter only. 15 and 16, it is 254. What was available for 254 has become 363. So 6 lakhs का index cost कितना होगा? 6 lakhs into 363 divided by 254. So what's the index cost coming to of improvement? 857 480. Okay, anyone is having doubt? Cost I have not taken for the previous owner because it was in 1999. So we took this. And now we will get long-term capital gain. 4950 minus 18 lakh 15,000 minus 857 2277 520. That's the long-term capital gain. Now read the question. He has sold the house and he has purchased another house within the limit December 24 for 18 lakhs. So long-term capital gain may say you get exemption under section 54, long-term capital gain or investment 18 lakhs, whichever is lower. So investment is 18 lakhs. So 18 lakhs will be exempt. You have sold the house. See, otherwise you'll have to pay huge capital gain on long term. Long-term capital gain, if the property is sold before 23rd of July 24, it's 20%. Now 12.5%, but to bhi bahut huge hai. So this or investment, whichever is lower, and now taxable long-term capital gain. Taxable long-term capital gain 4,77,500. Did you all get the 3-in-1 process of learning exemption, writing booster notes, and immediately solving the question? Ask your doubts. Some exemptions are very easy. This one was nice and repeatedly asked. One more aspect is left in this, dear students, that's revocation. वो बाद में करेंगे. Is exemption clear to all of you? Sale consideration, less expenses, less index cost, you get capital gain. And now investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower, and investment should be done within time limit. So they have to sold the house now, and in December 24 only they have purchased. Hai na? So purchase within 2 years, yes, it will be eligible. Okay. That's all for this exemption. Next one, now I will go to vertically. There are many more problems here, but they are all with revocation. Chalo. Next two are very easy. Sometimes asked, if you ask me, ma'am, which one is important? It's not कि सिर्फ important पढ़ना है, but जो repeatedly they are asked in exam is section 54, 54EC and 54F. And there are some pairing mode with which you can learn. How we on the Bluetooth and then it says pairing mode. Like that, there are some linked pairing mode we can do. 54B, individuals and HUF, short term and long term दोनों में मिलता है. Sell agricultural urban land. You know, agricultural urban land means in the heart of the city. What is agricultural rural land? If this is city limits, leave 8 kilometers radius, and after that whatever is land, it's agricultural land. And if you are doing agricultural activity on that agricultural land, it's your agricultural income. We have already completed agricultural income chapter. If agricultural income mein, if in the outskirts of city, forget 8 kilometers, after 40 kilometers from the city is Ramoji Film City in Hyderabad. So it's on agricultural land, but then it's not doing agricultural activity. They have a studio which they are giving out for shooting of movies and amusement park and all. So very well, it's going to be taxable. So I want to repeat what you have to sell: agricultural urban land within heart of the city. If you have some agricultural land, rural agricultural land is anyways exempt. If you have done farming in your native village and you have agricultural land, and if you sell that land, there is no capital gain. If you want, write down rural agricultural land, it is exempt from capital gain. No capital gain. Urban agricultural land, if it was used by individual or his parents for agricultural purpose for at least 2 years. You have in the heart of the city open plot, you are doing organic farming last 2 years, 3 years, and now you are selling. And what you should buy? Agricultural land, which may be rural or urban. You have to sell the agricultural urban land, because on that only capital gain is there. And what you have to buy? Urban or rural agricultural land. But promise, whether it is short term or long term, it should be used by individual or HF or his parents for farming purpose, right? Time limit of purchase is 2 years forward. Ma'am, why not 3 years? Construct nahi karna, it's just a land. So for buying, it's like 2 years forward. From which date? From the date of transfer of the urban agricultural land, from date of transfer, or in case of compulsory acquisition. Exemption is investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. If the new asset is transferred within 3 years. Okay. You sold urban agricultural land. To claim exemption, you purchase rural agricultural land or another urban land. Now, this land, don't sell it for 3 years. If you sell it for 3 years, it's revoked, gone. It will be taxable as short-term capital gain. And of course, yes, CGA scheme is applicable. Okay? That's 54B. Now 54D. Who can claim the exemption? Any person. Short term or long term. What you are selling, see any person, huh? This time it's LLP, partnership, koi bhi. Short term and long term. What you are selling? Land building forming part of the industrial undertaking, which is compulsory acquired by government, and it was used 2 years for industrial purpose. And what you have to buy? Another land and building for industrial purpose. Very beautiful concept. Time limit this time is 3 years forward from the, not from date of transfer, from the date of receipt of compensation, because compulsory you are selling the property. You want me to give the notes for every exemption I gave for 54. If you want, I can make you write for all. But these are simple and listen to one logic. Okay. So many of you are listening the lectures from Ahmedabad, Punjab, Mumbai, Chennai, South. But just an example, I am taking my own city, Hyderabad's example. We have one of the biggest zoo park here in Hyderabad. Nearby to zoo park is an industrial park wherein plastic manufacturing units are there. Katedan area is there where they manufacture plastic items. Now, because that plastic items are manufactured nearby to the zoo park and in the environment, air, obviously fumes and all will go. It is very disturbing for the ecological environment of the zoo park, and animals and all will face trouble. So what government said? We will compulsory acquire this property wherein industries are there nearby to zoo park, and we will ask them to shift outskirts of the city 30 kilometers. We will make industrial park and we will ask them to buy there. So suppose I am a person who is having a plastic manufacturing unit here. Now what I'm doing? I'm selling my plastic manufacturing unit ka land and building here compulsory to government, not to XYZ. 54D, sell land and building used for industrial purpose compulsory to government so that they can preserve this environment, and buy it in the outskirts. Buying, you can buy from government, or you can, generally government ही उनको help करते हैं. There are so many times even the food grains and other market in the heart of the city. So food grains and so what happens is big trucks and all who are bringing the quintals of tons of tuar dal and wheat and rice, very difficult for them to come in the heart of the city. So they will shift the whole market only to the outskirts of the city. So you are selling land and building compulsory to government, which was used as an industrial factory. And you're buying it in the outskirts. From XYZ, you buy, jisse kharidna hai kharido, government ka land hai, to unse kharido. You can claim an exemption. It could be anyone, it could be HUF, it could be individual, it could be partnership firm, it could be company. Sell land and building compulsory to government and acquire it outside, right? Investment in new house. If the new house is transferred within 3 years. Short-term capital, a new house, sorry. So what once again I'm doing, please, 54D. Any person, short-term or long-term. Then I'll read left to right also to give you all the comparators. Don't worry. So sell land and building which is compulsory acquired by government, and it should have been used by the SSC 2 years for industrial purpose. Acquire land and building 3 years forward time limit, and from the date of receipt of compensation, how much is exempt investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. Investment is transferred within 3 years. So you sold it here, you purchased in the outskirts. Don't sell that for 3 years. If you sell it, the exemption will be revoked. Is this clear to all of you? So we'll take a short break and we'll do the next ones. As I said, this is very important. 54, 54 EC, 54F, but मैं आपको सभी पढ़ा दूंगी. And there's a linked way. अभी तो we are in the understanding mode. After the break, I'll make it more clear and you will come in the learning mode ke how to remember for exam. 5 minutes quick break and assemble back. All right. Are you all also back after a break? And let us continue exemptions. Yes, lump sale is there in inter, dear students. Final third is compulsory asked. But inter sometimes, one or two times it's asked. It's very easy. I'll explain you, then I'll make you write some booster notes and then we'll solve the question answer. Okay. There has to be cumulative revision. So once again, what is today's class? Exemption, sale considerations, index cost of acquisition, capital gain. This capital gain, if you invest somewhere, some conditions are satisfied, you will get exemption, right? Now, how exemption under section 54 is calculated? Check it again. Individuals and HUF. House is always held for long term, right? So long term capital gain on sale of house, purchase another house, time limit, this is the date of transfer. 2 years forward to purchase the house, 3 years forward for construction, 1 year backward for purchase. Of course, you can buy other house and then sell this house, allowed. So within the time limit from the date of transfer. Now, if you decide, okay, I will sell the house now and within 2 years promise I'll buy the house, then put that money which you want to claim as exemption in 54 in the CGAS scheme and withdraw the money from CGAS to buy the amount. Then only you will get the exemption. Sell the house, buy the house, claim the exemption. How much is exemption? Capital gain or investment in new house, whichever is lower. Capital gain is 18. Investment in the new house is 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs. Capital gain is 18. Investment in new house is 25 lakhs. 18. Whichever is lower. But you cannot claim section 54 exemption above 10 crore. That's the limit. Very important for MCQ. And if you are selling a house wherein your capital gain is less than 2 crore, then you can sell one house and buy two houses. It's very practical possible. We were staying in a joint family in a big house. Now we have sold and we have purchased two small houses. So if the capital gain of selling the house, long term capital gain is less than this, all I have made you write. Ma'am, फिर ऐसे क्यों revise कर रहे हैं? Mind mapping. You have the booster notes in your notebook, what we have written. Sell the house, buy the house. If you sell the house and if the capital gain is up to 2 crore, you can sell the house and buy one or two houses. If your capital gain is above 2 crore, you can buy only one house. Ma'am, but I purchased two houses. Second house, you will not get the exemption. Acha, you have sold the house. You have purchased the house within 2 years or constructed within 3 years. Now this house, this new house, you should not sell it for 3 years. Otherwise, what people will do, oh, I sold the house, huge capital gain. Let me buy the house from my friend. After claiming capital gain, again transfer, cost to cost. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. So when you have sold the house, you have purchased the house to claim exemption under 54, this new house should be held for at least 3 years. Ma'am, if the new house is sold less than 3 years, super duper important for exam. I'll work out the questions tomorrow for revocation. It's revoked. How it is revoked? Abhi tak nahi padha hai. Clear? CGA scheme. It's like a bank account ki okay, till due date of filing the return for 24-25 promise, huh? I'll keep the money in a separate bank account. Promise I'll construct the house. Promise I'll buy the house. Then put it and claim the exemption. If you don't put the money in CGA scheme and just say orally, ma'am, I'll surely buy, I'll do this, do the oral promises. Nothing. So that's all about section 54. Then we did 54B. Individuals and HUF short-term and long-term sell urban agricultural land which is used by himself or parents for 2 years for farming and buy urban or rural agricultural land. 2 years forward. Here 3 years is not there because you just have to buy the land. There's no requirement of construction. From the date of transfer of agricultural land. Okay, right. Investment in new asset or capital gain, whichever is lower, and that new land which you have purchased, don't sell it for 3 years. And of course, CGS is applicable. Next, 54D we have completed. What is 54D? You can claim exemption, any person, short term or long term, land or building which was used by industrial purpose, compulsory acquired by government. I gave you the zoo park example. Yeah. And it is also used 2 years for industrial purpose. Buy land and building 3 years forward from the date of receipt of compensation. Exemption is investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. And don't sell this land and building which you have acquired for industrial purpose for 3 years. If you sell it, it will be taxable as short-term capital gain. Okay. Now we'll go to the next one, which is like super duper important. 54 EC. Any person. Long term. See, these two are long term because you are buying and selling house for long term. You sell land and building. And what you have to buy? Bonds. Government, like India is developing infrastructural development, monorails, metros, highways, flyovers, bridges, airports, railway station, outer ring road. ये सब develop हो रहा है. When first we used to go by road from one city to third city, we had to cross the city. Now outer ring roads are there where you can go directly. So for this, government needs money. This money comes from where? Bonds. Public is putting the money in bonds. So if you have transferred land and building, and if you have put the money in bonds, National Highway Authority of India, NHAI bonds, Rural Electricity Corporation, REC bonds, Railway Corporation bonds, and one more bonds are Power Corporation. Just 1 minute. Huh? Continue, please, reading on your own. Four kind of bonds you can buy, beta. Continue. Sorry. And thank you for waiting. So you can buy these bonds. What are the kind of the bonds you can buy? NHAI bonds, REC, electricity bonds, railway bonds, and Power Finance Corporation. ये fourth वाला add करो. Power Finance Corporation bonds. These bonds are for the 5 years lock-in period and then it matures. So now what you are selling? Land and building. What you are buying? Bonds. Time limit 6 months. Ma'am, only 6 months. Bond shares and debentures you can buy at a call by making a call to your agent, or if you're doing online direct trading and all. It's so simple to buy the bonds. Still, they have given 6 months time for you to decide and buy. 6 months from the date of transfer. In case of compulsory acquisition of land and building, from the date of acquisition. Exemption is investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. And the new asset which you have acquired, bond, should not be converted into money. Otherwise, it's like promise broken, because these bonds are purchased for 5 years lock-in period. Or loan is taken on security of the new asset within 5 years. Okay. You should not take against giving security of these bonds any loan. You should not convert it in cash. Then when exemption is revoked, it's long-term capital gain. Ma'am, all were short-term. Why this is long-term? Huh? Because bonds and all less than 1 year is only short-term. After that, it's long-term. CGS is not applicable. No. Why? See, when is CGS applicable? Promise within 2 years I'll purchase, 3 years. But here you have to buy bonds. So before due date of filing the return, definitely you can buy bonds. Why you want to put the money in CGS and say, हाँ मैं कल खरीदता परसों खरीदता? Only 6 months time is there. So CGS का no importance. Understand one thing now, dear students. You can sell the house and buy the house, section 54, or you can sell the house, land and building, and buy bonds. Your choice. Ma'am, can we do both? Yes. You sell the house and get capital gain, say 10 crore. 2 crore का घर ले लो, बाकी bonds ले लो. Bonds you cannot purchase this year and next year more than 50 lakhs. उससे ज़्यादा you cannot. There's upper limit. But can you do both? Answer is yes. I'm repeating. You sell the house and buy the house, section 54. You sell the house, not only house. In 54 EC, land and building, both. And you buy bonds. NHAI, REC, Power, Railway, इनके bonds खरीद लो. Time limit for purchasing the bonds is 6 months from the date of transfer. It's a very click karke you can buy the bonds, so CGA scheme is not required. And if you revoke, it will be taxable as long-term capital gain. Because 6 months, 1 year, it becomes long-term CGA scheme. Clear to all of you? Yeah. So many of you are doing live here and so many of you are live in the Zoom also. Any doubts you have in understanding, please ask. Yes, chat is on. 54 EC. आ जाओ. Any person. हाँ, but very important is 54 में it was only individual and HF. Here it is like any person. Long-term capital gain by selling land or building. And you buy bonds, NHAI bonds, REC bonds, and all. Time limit is 6 months forward from the date of transfer or compulsory acquisition. Exemption is investment in capital asset or capital gain, whichever is lower. And these bonds are for a lock-in period of 5 years. So till 5 years, don't give security and take loan against these bonds, or don't try to convert the bonds into cash. Long-term capital gain and CGA scheme is not taxable. If it is revoked, it will be taxable as long-term capital gain. Now these two go hand in hand. So I want all of you to put an arrow mark here. जहां टॉप में आपने इंपॉर्टेंट लिखा है ना, 54 EC and E, any person, long-term capital asset. What? Land and building. 54 EE में sell any long-term capital asset. Yeah. 54 EC में you are buying bonds. Here you are buying units of specified mutual funds. Time limit for purchase is 6 months forward to buy the bonds. Here you are buying specified mutual funds, Mutual funds mean you get units, like you invest in company and you get shares. So 54 EE from the date of transfer. When you have to buy 6 months from the date of transfer, and if it is compulsory acquired, then from the day you receive the money, then only you can put that money in bonds. 54 EC, you can put that money in mutual fund. 54 EE. Exemption is investment in capital asset or capital gain, whichever is lower. If the new asset is converted or loan is taken and all within 3 years. 54 EC bonds are there for a lock-in period of 5 years. This is for a lock-in period of 3 years. Clear? It will become taxable as long-term capital. Next, 54F, individuals and HUF. I told you these are repeatedly asked. 54, sell the house, buy the house. Now, if you're thinking I'm repeating again and again to make you learn, 54 EC, sell land and building, buy bonds. 54 EE, sell anything, any asset, land, building, painting, diamond necklace, anything, open plot, and put the money in mutual funds. 54F, 54F अलग से अलग है, सबसे अलग है. Yeah, why? Let us see. Individual and HUF, long-term capital asset. Any long-term capital asset other than house. 54F is saying you sell anything other than house. So you can sell open plot, you can sell necklace, you can sell diamond, you can sell any of the jewelry, but not house. On the date of transfer, the taxpayer should not own more than one house. You should not own more than one house. And what you have to buy? Residential house. You are selling any long-term capital asset, individual and HUF, other than house, and you are buying a house. Time limit is same. Because here also you are buying house. So here also it is like section 54 same. Section 54 same. What you are buying? You are selling anything and you are buying what? House. Time limit is same. Like here, like here. 1 year backward, 2 years forward for construction, 3 years forward. From date of transfer. In case of compulsory acquired, from that day. This one is different. How much capital gain will be exempt? Until now, if you see all left to right, investment in new house, capital gain whichever is lower. Investment in new house, capital gain whichever is lower. 54F is using some formulae. That formulae I'll tell you logically with one example, dear students. And condition is the new house which you have purchased, don't transfer it within 3 years, otherwise it will be revoked. If another residential, you already have one house, you sold anything and you purchased one more house. You cannot purchase one more house if another residential house is purchased within 2 years. Or if you have transferred this house. Or if another residential house is constructed within 3 years. Then this long-term capital gain will be revoked. And of course, CGS is applicable. CGS बिल्कुल applicable है. Ask your doubts, please. Just 2 minutes. Once again, shall I repeat this, dear students? Thank you for waiting. 54F. How the formula works? I'll tell you with an example. This compiler is made with lot of efforts, and I have given this notes also in the telegram, those who want. So देखो 54F. Individual and HUF. Sell any long-term capital asset other than house, and on that day you should not have more than one house. Buy the residential house within 2 years, construct within 3 years from date of transfer. Exemption will be formula है, but formula बहुत simple है. I want all of you to write an example here only. Sale consideration 100, index cost of acquisition 75, long term capital gain is 25. Now suppose investment in the new house is 32. Until now, everywhere, dear students, I have told you capital gain or investment in new house, whichever is lower. Capital gain or investment in the new house, whichever is lower. So 25 or 32, whichever is lower. But here, it's not like that. When you have sold the house for 100 and got capital gain 25, why did you invest only 32? जब सेल कंसिडरेशन 100 है, कैपिटल गेन 25 है, why did you invest only 32? You should have invested whole 100 you got from sale of the asset. Yeah. So when you have sold the property for 100 and capital gain is 25, so you just invested 32. So how much it will be exempt? Write down the example. In 100, capital gain is 25. Cross multiply, don't mug up the formula. In 32, question mark. And then understand it with the formula. Investment in new asset, 32. Divide by net sale consideration, 100. Multiplied by capital gain. When you have sold for 100 and you have got capital gain 25, then why did you invest only 32? Is that clear to all of you? Cross multiply. 100 में 25 तो 32 में कितना? Long term capital gain into investment divided by 100. And new asset is what you have purchased, house. So don't sell the house for 3 years and don't do anything. Okay, right. So till here they are there in the CA syllabus. Next two are just 2 minutes and it's there for the CMA students. So many of them are watching this combined lecture. For CA students, you have only 54, 54B, D, EC, EE done. Okay, 54F. Now the next two ones, just have an idea. I'll tell you how. Hmm. 54G and GA, any person, short term or long term, sell the land, building, plant and machinery. Underline it. Land, building, plant and machinery बेचना है in order to shift from urban to rural area. Underline it. You're shifting your handicraft industry or cottage industry from Hyderabad city to village. So you are shifting your land, building, plant and machinery from urban to rural area. and that is 54G. And 54GA is you're shifting your land, building, plant and machinery from urban to SEZ. SEZ is special economic zone. So if you're manufacturing export items in the heart of the city, to avoid lot of documentation, why don't you shift to SEZ? There, whatever raw material you will get, no GST, and on your output, it's anyhow export. है ना? So if you are shifting your land and building and plant and machinery from urban to rural, 54G, and urban to SEZ, 54GA. And which asset they should acquire: land, building, plant and machinery. 1 year backward, 3 years forward, because you have to purchase from the date of transfer. It's not compulsory acquired by government. Investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. If it is revoked, this land, building and plant and machinery which you have purchased, if it is sold within 3 years, it's revoked. And when it is revoked, it's going to be taxable as short-term capital gain. CJ scheme is applicable. Why short-term capital gain? Because it's sold within 2 years, 3 years. So how to remember the gist 54G and GA? 54G and GA. I am repeating comparative. Any person, short term or long term, land, building and plant and machinery. Here you are shifting from urban to rural, here urban to SEZ. Buy land and building. 1 year backward, 3 years forward from the date of transfer. Investment in new house or capital. Is it revoked? Yes. You read the first question and try to answer. Yes. Within 3 years. If it is sold, land, building, plant and machinery acquired in the rural area or SEZ, if it is sold within, ek bar if you have shifted, at least run that unit for 3 years, no? It will be taxable as short term and CGS is applicable. I'm going to revise more and doing, but I'm so sorry for some undue breaks today. 5 minutes today. I know I always take one break, but a second break bhi ho raha hai. And we are going to now make you learn from left to right. Abhi vertically padhe, and then we'll solve some nice questions also. Okay, I know some of the students are like, ma'am, instead of this, we can record and then upload so that all these disturbances, because of which I have to stop and take 5 minutes, wo nahi hoga. But it's okay. There's lot of spontaneous and very good focus when you attend the class live with the teacher. Hmm? आप रिकॉर्डिंग देखोगे तो इधर उधर हो जाओगे, यू नॉट लिसन ऑल्सो सो मेनी टाइम्स, बट अटेंड इट लाइव, देयर विल बी अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस इन लर्निंग. So we have completed all the 6 exemptions for CA syllabus, and for CMA only 2 extra are there, 54G and GA. Now applying this, we will solve capital gain question. We have already solved sale consideration, minus index cost, capital gain. यहाँ तक तो clear है. But now if I invest accordingly, will I get the deduction? Yes. And if the investments which I have made, if I sell it within 3 years and all, it's revoked, then how it is taxable? Very interesting this part is. Okay, chalo. Now what I'm doing is, we will revise this. We will revise it left to right so that we get comparatives. Okay? And then we will apply and solve. Please let me know. Sure, sure. If you want notes the way I gave for 54, you want it for 54 EC, EF. Actually, it's given very clear in the table and very easy, so I didn't give. But surely I'll give. Okay. Once again, now this is, I hope you all have followed. So this is to make you learn now. Let us check it vertically. Yes. 54. Individual and HUF. Long-term capital gain. Sell the house, buy the house 1 year backward, 2 year forward, and 3 years forward for construction. Within 3 years, if you sell the new house, the exemption will be revoked. Next, 54B, individual and HUF. Agricultural urban land you are selling, which is used 2 years for farming in the heart of the city, urban agricultural land. And what you need to buy is urban or rural agricultural land. Time limit for purchase is 2 years because it's a land, and rest all is same. 54D, short term or long term, any person. 54D na, it's like factory, industries, land, building, forming part of industrial undertaking, and you are shifting it from say the one which is compulsory acquired to somewhere else. So if that land and building forming part of industrial undertaking is compulsory acquired by government, then only they can vacate all now. I hope you are getting. There are 10 shops in this, 10 factories in this which are making plastic. Compulsory they have to sell government and buy land and building, use for industrial purpose only. Time limit is same. 3 years you have time from the date of receipt because it's compulsory acquired. 54 EC and EE go hand in hand. What is 54 EC and EE? Any person, only long term. Sell land and building, buy bonds. 54 EC. Sell land and building, buy bonds. Sell any asset and buy specified mutual funds. Yes. Bonds are NHAI, REC, railway bonds, power finance corporation bonds, and specified mutual fund K units. So when you will buy bonds, when you sell land and building, and then any asset you buy and you buy specified bonds. Time limit for purchase of bonds is within 6 months. So CGA scheme is not applicable. Okay. Next is 54F. You sell any capital asset other than residential house. You can have one residential house and now you buy residential house. So you can sell jewelry and buy house like that. Time limit is 1 year, 2 year because you are buying house. So same. Okay, CGS is applicable and all. 54G and GA. Any person, short term or long term. You know, those are related to businesses and also short term, long term, kuch bhi rehne do. Sell land building. Here it was only land building. Land building. Here it is land, building, plant and machinery. Shift from urban to rural or urban to SEZ and buy another land building in the rural area or in SEZ. And time limit is same, 1 year backward, 3 years forward from the date of transfer. Investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. Okay. Okay. Now let me tell you left to right कि इसको और अच्छे से याद कैसे करेंगे, and we are doing tomorrow also these problems only, so it will be more clear to all of you. Chalo. Who can claim the exemptions? So individual and HUF 54, sell the house, buy the house. 54B, sell agricultural land. 54F, sell anything and buy the house. Only these three are for individuals and HUF, 54, 54B and 54F. Rest all are for any person. Generally all are long term, but same house. 54D, shifting of industrial undertaking, ये जो business से related है ना, they can be short term and long term. Otherwise, every time it's long term capital asset. Clear? And what you need to buy, sell the house, buy house. Urban agricultural land, if you sell, buy urban and rural. Land and building, compulsory acquired in industrial undertaking. Sell land and building, buy bonds. Sell any asset, buy specified mutual fund. Sell any asset, buy house. And land, building, plant and machinery. Right. Time limit is always for purchase and construction 2 years and 3 years, and otherwise for purchase of agricultural land and industrial and all, it's 2 years and 3 years. For bonds and mutual funds, the purchase time is only 6 months. For rest all, it is same. ये देखो 1 year backward, 3 years forward. Here 1 year backward, 2 years forward, 3 years for construction. इनको सबको 3 years है. Okay, right. So much will not be tested word to word, dear students. You should be able to solve the questions. Okay, right. How much is exempt? Everywhere it is investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. Here I have written refer note 1 because that wo 2 crore wala और ये important है. One second, dear students. Only 54F is different. Rest all, how much is exempt? Capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. But in 54F, sell anything and buy house in the cross multiply mode. Sale consideration is 100, index is 75, long term capital gain. You invested 32. See, you have sold for 100. Why did you invest 32 in the house? You have sold a jewelry for 100 lakhs. Why did you invest 32? Proportionately, you will get 100 में 25 तो 32 में कितना? Investment in the new asset 32 divide by net sale consideration into the capital. Clear to all of you? Is it possible to revoke? Yes. Whenever you buy any asset, you should hold it for 3 years. And if you buy bonds, lock-in period is 5 years. So before that, if you sell, it will be revoked. Acha, whenever it is revoked, it's always taxable as short-term, except for bonds and mutual funds and 54F. It will be treated as long-term. Agar holding period of the new asset also 2 years के बाद sale किया है तो CGA scheme, yes, 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 everywhere it is applicable. Except 54 EC, bonds खरीदने के लिए CGS we don't need 6 months time. And 54 EE. लिखो लिखो वापस से 54 EC, 54 EE. Mutual fund and bonds purchasing, you don't need this. Okay, right. CGA scheme, what it is, I told you. Yeah, only when you buy the house, more than 10 crore deduction is not available and 2 crore ka apna ek hai. C54 is again explained in the same way. Sale consideration, long-term capital gain is 25. You invested only 35. So cross multiply, utna hi available. Note, investment in NHA and REC bonds, mutual funds and all cannot exceed 50 lakh deduction this year and next year put together. Upper limit, market very important for MCQ. For one residential house situated in India, exemption under 54 and 54F both can be availed. You know what is 54? Sell the house, buy the house. What is 54F? Sell jewelry or anything and buy the house. So for same house purchased, if the value is more, you can avail not double benefit, but both benefit. How? We have to work out the question. Sell the residential house, buy another house, and if still capital gain is left, invest. See, sell the house, land and building, and buy the house. So 54 easy. 54. Land building sell karke you have purchased the house to 54. And against that same land and building you have purchased bonds also. So can you claim both? Yes. Sell the house and buy the house, and still if capital gain is there, you can put the money in bonds and mutual fund. If new asset is acquired and if it is transferred within 3 years, it will be revoked and short-term capital gain lagega. Now I think is the right time to introduce revocation so that we can do combine good number of the problems. Revocation के साथ ही हैं ज्यादातर problems. What is revocation? You've sold the house, you've purchased the house, and this new house also you sold. Problem number 21 we did, no? Now we are doing problem number 22. Number maybe 1 or 2 here and there. You read the problem and do. ये करेंगे, ये सब revocation वाले हैं. We did problem number 21 now. 22 and 23 are past exam questions. You can mark it. You have any doubt, please ask. Teaching part is over. I know if I've just followed, it's okay. As a teacher, so many times repetition. So now I learn it by heart. It okay. Put the money in bonds 54 AC, mutual fund 54 EE. Buy the house 54 or 54F. Urban to rural, urban to SEZ, GNGA. ठीक है, तो give yourself some time. We are going to do like capital gain tomorrow also. Okay, tax changes and all I'll cover. Right now, very good 2 problems of past exam for 8 marks. I'm going to solve. You know, the quality of the problem should be of the professional level. That's very important. Faith acquired a residential house in January 2008 for 10 lakhs and made some improvements, including construction. ठीक है, 2008 January में खरीदा है, तो which year's index you will take? It's January 2008. Yes, quick answer. 7-8, very correct. January 2008. So which year? 7-8 index के लिए. And October some addition is also done. He sold the house for 65 lakhs. Stamp duty value is 80 lakhs. He acquired a residential house in January 24. This he has sold in October 24. So 1 year prior only he has acquired another house. Okay. And he has also put some money in bonds. Okay. In June 25. So if you put the money in CGA scheme, not bonds, sorry, CGS capital gain bonds. Acha, bonds में ही डाल दिए हैं. So you sold the house and you've put the money in bonds. Oh, nice problem. You sold the house and purchased the house. And now you have put the money in bonds also. 54 EC. So can we avail 54 and 54 EC both? 54 is sell the house, buy the house. 54 is sell the house, buy the bonds. So, when you sell the house and you get a capital gain, either you can buy house. मुझे नहीं खरीदना है घर, अभी तो घर बेचा है. Why should I buy house? Can I put the money in bonds for a lock-in period of 5 years? Yes. Compute the capital gain. What would be the consequence in which, if you don't want to invest, then you have to pay? Listen, chat box, I'm reading, ma'am. If we don't want to invest, then whatever is capital gain, pay the tax. No exemption will come. Compute the capital gain chargeable. What would be the taxable consequence? And in which assessment year, if the property is acquired in January 25. Is sold for 40 lakhs in March 25. Oh, this so exemption is also revoked. Sab kuch hai. Everything is there in this problem. You have sold the house, you have purchased the house. You have sold the house, you have purchased the bonds. And the house which you purchased, kahan gaya? In January 25, this is. January 25 may have purchased the house. That same house you have sold in March 25. We told you, if you have sold the house and purchased the house in January, sold the house in October 24 and purchased the house in January 25, then don't sell it, please. You can purchase in January 24 also, not an issue. मैंने date change किया. January 24 भी लिख सकते हैं, 25 जो लेना है. But if it is acquired in January 25, why do you want to sell it in March 25? You sold the house and purchased the house, so minimum 3 years you have to keep it. So very nice problem. Read the problem. Do you have a doubt in reading the problem? Very nice question. And in this, revocation is already there. I thought I'll take some question without revocation, but now it's there, so I'll explain. You all followed? What's the meaning of revocation, beta? We told you, sold the house, buy the house. No, now this second house, dare you sell it within 3 years? फिर भी बेच दिया. Within 2 months, you have sold. Gone. Acha. When exemption is revoked, because all the problems are revocation, it's a very small concept. See, when new asset is required to be acquired and new asset is transferred within 3 years, cost of such asset shall be reduced from the capital gain. Exempt. Cost of the such asset shall be reduced by the amount of the capital gain exempt, because now that capital gain will become taxable. We gave you exemption thinking you have sold house, you have purchased house. Now don't sell this house for 3 years. If you sell it immediately, whatever exemption we have given, it will be taxable, but not directly, indirectly. Reduce it from the cost of the house. And then you will get short term. Ma'am, kaise? Kuch bhi nahi samjha. Dekho. Concept of exemption revoked. This is my branding, my copyright. ऐसे बहुत सारे examples I have made. You remember business head, we have solved a very small example to clear the concept of depreciation, like that here. What is the sale consideration? 100. Index cost 75, 25. I invested in the new house 25 and claimed section 54 exemption. Exemption under section 54 I claimed by investing in the new house. So my capital gain was nil. Now, new house sold within 1 year for 40. What was the cost of the new house? 25, which you claimed exemption here. So short-term capital gain is taxable. You all followed or not? सेकेंड वाला हाउस 40 में सेल किया जबकि कॉस्ट था 25, तो 15 इज टैक्सेबल. एंड व्हाट एग्जेम्पशन इज रिवोक्ड, वो भी टैक्सेबल है 40. इजी. न्यू हाउस यू हैव सोल्ड, वो तो टैक्सेबल है 40 में. And you have availed the exemption 25, that will also become taxable because it is revoked within sold within 3 years. This is for understanding. If exemption is revoked, then cost of second house is reduced till the exemption revoked, then balance cost is only considered. In exam option 2, option 1 is given just to explain the concept. In exam you have to work it like this. Dekho, this is all same. Sale consideration, index cost, long-term capital gain, exemption, all same. Now you have sold the house in 40, the cost of which was 25. Cost is to be reduced by the exemption. Whatever you get exemption, no, it is revoked, wo to gaya. So now reduce it from the cost 25. So ma'am, then the cost will be nil. Okay, everything will be taxable. Answer will come same. Here we did 40 minus 25 and 25 we tax separately. Here we said 40, no? Cost of this second house sold is 25. Reduce it till the extent of the capital gain you have taken exemption above. And now it's short-term capital. Okay. Clear to all of you? Yeah, with example, of course, we are doing exemption revoked. And for that, I have given you Mr. Faith example. First only they have sold the house and they have purchased the house also and bonds also. Now bonds is there for a lock-in period of 5 years. House though? What treatment we will give in the default tax regime? Default tax regime separately करेंगे. वैसे ये तो सब आएगा tax में and all wherever changes are there. Problem number 22 we will do it in notebook. आराम से करो one by one. Read the bit. I'm going very slow. एकदम आराम से करेंगे. अच्छे वाले प्रॉब्लम है. Computation of income of Mr. Faith. Computation of income of Mr. Faith. Mr. Faith acquired a residential house and made some improvement. He sold the house property in October 24. Sale consideration. There could be stamp duty and all, but there are other twists and turns. So they have given that he sold the house for sale consideration under section 50C. Actual sale consideration. How much he has sold the houses? 65 lakhs. Whereas the government stamp duty value is 80 lakhs. Apply the knowledge. You have sold it for 65 lakhs. Whereas the stamp duty value is 80 lakhs. So obviously we will take 80 lakhs. Are there any expenses? No. Shall we simply and quickly take index cost of acquisition? He purchased it for 10 lakhs in 2008. January. So January 2008 means you have to take 7 and 8. And now it is 24 and 25. So 7 and 8 ke liye we will check up. 129. 129 has become 363. So 10 lakhs is how much? 10 lakhs into 363. Please put the answers in chat box. Use the calculator. सब दीप्ति मैम थोड़ी करेंगे बेटा, फाइनल एग्जाम में आपको ही करना है. 28 lakhs 13,953. Index cost of acquisition. Now, index cost of improvement. They also did some improvement in October 2012. For how much? 2 lakh. 2012 and 13. हाँ, index rates ध्यान से लेना है बेटा. 24-25 is 363 and 12 and 13 it is 200. 200 has become 233. So what's the index cost of improvement? 2 lakh into 363 divided by 200. $363. So this property is sold now. Plus 20. Capital gain is coming 48,23,047. $80 lakhs minus index cost of acquisition and improvements, it's long-term capital gain. Now, you have sold the house and you have got long-term capital gain. Now you have acquired another house. So less exemption under section 54. House purchased. You have acquired another house for 25 lakhs. Investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. So 25 lakhs. And additionally, still capital gain is coming. So under section 54 EC, you have purchased NHAI, REC, जो भी है, bonds. $20 lakhs. Bonds में how much money he has put? 20 lakhs. But it is not allowed. You know why it is not allowed? What's the time limit of selling the house and putting the money in bonds? 6 months. So here they have done it after 6 months from the date of transfer. Read the problem. Dekho. When did you sell the house? October 24. So October 24 say 6 months. November, December, January, February, March, April. Till April 25, you should have put the money in bonds. When did you put? June 25. So you will not get the benefit. Nice problem, no? If we can do this level of the problems, then what is tough in the final exam? Tell me. You will enjoy the classes more if I do simple problems. उसी को double figure करके, आधे figure करके fast करोगे. But professional exam, this is it. Bonds is allowed, but you should have invested from October 24 plus 6 months. That is April 25. Investment is made after 6 months, not allowed. You have to write like this, or you have to write a note down. कि NHAI bonds में though you have put 20 lakhs, it's not allowed. So now what is the capital gain? 4823 करेक्ट है ना? ये एक बार फिर से देखो कैलकुलेशन. Twenty-three, 23,047. If the figure is different, just change it. 23, 23,047. I'm repeating, you've sold the house, purchased another house, and you've put the money in bonds, but after 6 months, so not allowed. Yes? So now this is the long-term capital gain. Now, next what happened, you know? In March 25, this house is sold. House 2. I'll call it as house 2. March 25. March 25, house 2 sold. So again now you will take. This is the final capital gain you can write here. 23,047. What is the sale consideration? Read the question. Now the second house is sold. The one which you had acquired in January 25 is sold in March 25. We told you not to sell for 3 years. You have sold it in 2 months. 40 lakhs. Shall I do indexation? No. It was purchased in January 25 and sold. The straight cost of acquisition is 25 lakhs minus exemption revoked. Please check my example which I have given after the table. 25 lakhs cost is to be reduced with the exemption revoked. We gave you exemption, na? Ki you will not sell, but you to sold, so reduce it. Ma'am, then the cost will come nil. Yeah. Then this will be taxable as short-term capital gain. Why short-term? Because the second house is purchased and sold within 3 months, January to March. So what is the gross total income? 63,23,047. 63,23,047 rounded off to 63,23,050. Nice question. Please tell me, did you feel it was tough or it was very easy? You sold the house and purchased another house. First point to be careful, I'm giving it with a different ink, was ye. January 2008. January 2008 you have purchased the house, so you have to take 7 and 8 because you are in financially. Second was 54 EC, jo nahi mila, because you have invested after 6 months. When exemption is revoked, you have to reduce it from the cost and then take. The second logical or option 2. Only for understanding, option 2 is second house is sold. Sale consideration kitna hai? 40 lakhs. Cost kitna hai? 25. तो short term capital gain कितना आएगा? 15 lakhs. And short term capital gain revoked. You have sold the house, na? So that's 25 lakhs will now become taxable as short term capital gain. Go and read the column 1. Whenever exemption is revoked, it's short term. 40 lakhs. Answer will come same. I want you to write this option for understanding. Second house sold, I know I'm repeating too many times. 40 lakhs, cost is 25 lakhs, so 15 lakhs आ गया. ये आपका revoke हो गया. We'll do more sums practice tomorrow revocation के साथ and take down some homeworks. Ask your doubts. I hope you have followed. What new you have learned? If exemption is revoked, it is reduced from the cost. If exemption is revoked, whatever exemption is revoked, it's reduced from the cost and net you will take. Why didn't I do indexation? Because second house is sold within the time. Clear to all of you? Mark this question very, very important. Problem number 22. So one day before exam, what you should do, you should know. है ना? This one is also a very nice. Exemption revoked and all. I'll take it tomorrow. Homework is problem number 24 and 25. Two homeworks. I'm explaining, of course. Dekho. Michael Jackson sells his house property in 1985 for 2.5 lakh for a consideration of 65 lakhs in September 24. So 65 lakhs it is sold. There is no stamp duty value and all. So we'll take this. Cost of improvement is also given. Expenses incurred for sales. So net sale consideration you got. Now, he acquired the property in 1985 and he did some improvement in 1999 and one more improvement in 2016 also. So when the cost and improvement are given before 2001, you can take the fair market value of the property. Fair market value of the property. 10 lakhs. In case if they give stamp duty value, fair market value cannot exceed the stamp duty value. I hope you are getting. So, because the property was acquired in 85 and improvement in 99, wherein indexation was not there, we will take in 2001 and 2. Now, in 24 and 25. So, in 2001, the value is 10 lakhs. 100 has become 363, 10 lakhs. How much you got the cost? One more improvement is done in July 16. That we can take directly. July 16 we can take directly. 2,80,000. Yeah. And 24, 25. So 264. एक बार देख लो. July 16. July 16 means which index you will take? 16 and 17. 264 has become 363. So this you got. Capital gain. He acquired new house during January 24. Okay, this time let it be January 24. 1 year backward, no? They sold in September 24 and January 24. 1 year backward. He has purchased the new house. Can he claim? Such an easy sum. This is the level of the questions asked for 7 marks. And capital gain is vast to study. But jab pen flow hoga na, you will do it faster. You need more time to read and do the things in your, what do you call it? Business head and all. But यहाँ तो बहुत easy है. Sale consideration, less expenses, net sale consideration, cost of acquisition, improvement, all put together, you have got the capital gain. Okay, right. Next, Sandeep owned the house in Madurai, which he had acquired in 1 lakh in 11, and he sold it in 21. So 21 and 22, he sold this house for 8 lakhs. Okay. 8 lakhs में बेच दिया ये घर. कब? 21, 22. Ma'am, then we have to calculate capital gain for that year. Answer is yes. So it was purchased in 2011-12 and then 21 and 22. ठीक है. So you got the capital gain in that year, in 21. He purchased another house in May 23. June 21, he sold the house. Promise. June 21, he sold the house and he purchased house in 35-23. Promise that within 2 years, you will purchase another house. So June 23 ke pehle you have to purchase house. He purchased in Trichy. Can he claim exemption? Definitely he'll put this money in CJS scheme and he got the benefit. Now, this Trichy house, second house which he purchased in Trichy, promise that for 3 years don't sell it. I hope you understand now the time limit. That's why I made you write in notebook. 3 years तक इसको सेल नहीं करना. 35-26 तक. 34-24 only he has sold. So 34-24 means 24-25 he has sold the house for 8 lakhs. Cost is 6 lakhs. First of all, shall I take index or not? त्रिची का घर कब खरीदे थे? 35, 23 and 34. Within 1 year he has sold the house. So cost of acquisition is reduced by exemption revoked. Cost of acquisition is reduced by exemption revoked. I'm repeating. Many times I've seen students take time to learn this. So the cost is nil and whole 8 lakh. Indirectly, you can say 8 lakhs Trichy house is sold. Trichy house ka cost is 6 lakh, 2 lakh capital gain, and earlier 6 lakhs will also become taxable. So you do it like this or you do it like this. But the way institute is saying, they say cost of acquisition is to be reduced by the exemption revoked. And then you will get the answer. So today we have done all exemptions vertically. I have made you write notes. We have worked out questions for 54, 54 EC. 54F, I'll make you do the question answers tomorrow. These are the ones which are repeatedly. Before we go and close the class, it's a very wonderful class wherein all exemptions we have done. Like that last class, we have done everything about stamp duty and advance. This is, we put it in blocks so that that concept is repeated and clear. Tomorrow, the emphasis will be on solving exemptions question also and slum sale. And then tax rates are there, right? Let it go for 2-3 classes, a regular batch. Koi farak nahi padta. But yaad rakho, sell the house, buy the house, 54. Sell anything, land and building, sorry, not anything, land and building, buy bonds, 54 EC. Sell anything and buy house, 54F. These are the cream ones. Rest all you can read. That's all for today. Anyone is having any doubt, comment, and if you feel lot of efforts we have made together, please comment, share, subscribe till your exam. I don't know, you should give an honest view here, or 92900065156 is the WhatsApp number of the concept classes. Put a message and tell me. Should I record so that I can pause, record, and then upload? Or this is live teaching in YouTube? What is helpful to you? For me, lot of spontaneousness when we take it live. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, all of you. Don't miss the class tomorrow. Today, if you have followed 75% also, it's okay. When I apply this repeatedly and solve, array, you have purchased the bonds. You've sold land and building, purchased the bond, but you didn't buy within 6 months. Ma'am, I purchased in June 25 and you said before due date of return. Before due date, you have to put the money in CGAS. Bonds, so you have to acquire within 6 months. Okay. So these are all the important pointers you should remember while solving the questions in exam. Wish you very all the best. Thank you so much. We are closing with the prayer. If I could do it earlier, I can do it now. Have you done your foundation? So many of you are in final. Interview ho gaya. So many of you are in inter, but you have done 10th, 12th foundation. If you could do earlier your board exams pressure, you can do it now. And say to yourself, I will do whatever it takes to achieve my goals. उसके लिए जितना भी मेहनत करना है करेंगे. And I take 100%, say this, I take 100% responsibility of all my decisions, actions, emotions, all. When you take the responsibility, the power is within you. You can work superb then, right? All the best to all of you. See you all tomorrow sharp at 11. This material, what I've used, I've already send the PDF in the Telegram and WhatsApp group. And if you want the whole book with this concept and question answers, quality good, past exam, booster notes, my own created example, you can purchase the compiler from the app link.